All right, guys. We're just trying to, make sure we have all the papers lined up the right way. Welcome back. It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning.
Yeah, but it is. Titi, you want to start with the punch?
Yes,
Okay.
of course, we have a guest with us.
Yes. Oh, yes, we do. We're almost thinking that we're the ones that are doing this. Great to have you, sir. You are welcome.
Yes.
Great to have us.
We do this Monday morning.
All right, sir.
Welcome
Okay, so
back.
let's kick off with the punch.
Yes, let's start with this headline. It says here, asset declaration. The Code of Conduct Bureau tells Tinubu others to submit forms before May 29th. Asset declaration is ongoing in 36 states, and it says here, no swearing in without form submission.
Yes, it's always normal anywhere over the world that when you want to assume leadership positions, especially when it has to do with public offices, you got to let the people you are going to lead to know what's your worth before coming in, so that at the end of the day, when you are leaving, they want to compare it. And this is in a way to sort of curb dipping hands into the commonwealth of the people. So it's normal. It's not only Tinubu, it's all the elected political office holders that are supposed to do that.
It does feel like it's happened year after year, whenever there's an election year. But do you think it's been effective?
Yeah, that's another angle to it. To what extent have we been following it up? I can remember the case between the CCB chairman then and Olushola Saraki when he was the president of the Senate. At the end of the day, even the CCB chairman was alleged of 10 million naira. And what has happened? Look at so many other corruption cases that we have heard of in this country. What has happened to it? You remember the issue of Stop the Mic, the NDDC thing. You remember the case of Snake swallowing how many billions of naira, and all that. Even the former chairman of EFCC. So it has not been working. But then it's just like, let's just fulfill our righteousness.
Okay. Hopefully, this time our president-elect said that fighting corruption is one of his major, points of what he's going to do. So hopefully, we hope that this time around, that will happen. So let's move on to the Guardian here. The one that interests me, I spoke about this weekend, was a major highlight for me because a tragedy was averted. This was a very big one, and flight disruption in Abuja as Air Max. That's just above that headline there. As Air Max, Max Air loses landing wheel. A major tragedy was averted. Kudos to the pilot, because that would take some skills. Because I mean, there are two tires, and I'm thinking, I'm thinking about it. A lot could have gone wrong, and all of that. Who causes? Let's look at the causes. How can we avert something like this not happening again? And then also, how is it that that tragedy was averted?
Yeah, you see, in aviation, it's just like in other transport sector. There is no way you can operate it without incidents and accidents. They are two different things. Okay, but because of time, I won't be able to explain on those. But then, there are what we call incidents and accidents. That of yesterday was an accident because it affected the carrier itself. That is the airplane. Because you could see fire burning. But the thing is this: how was he able to be managed? For me, because the former president of NMA, I learned, was inside our aircraft. And I think when I was listening to TVC News 10 o'clock yesterday, your correspondent also alluded to that fact, that she even interviewed him, okay? And that man said they had the tire burst while leaving.
Just after takeoff from Yola.
After takeoff. Wow. If I were the pilot, when you see that, all you need to do is to turn back. Because anything can happen
Midway.
Mid-air. Yeah. Anything can happen. But peradventure again, maybe he had seen he had seen from his own experience that, okay, with this, all I need to do is fly to Abuja, but before getting to Abuja, alert the rescue.
Which is what they said.
Rescue and response. Because I could also see the fire service operators.
They already stand by.
They were ready.
The question was to ask is, it happened after takeoff. So looking at risk ratio here, maybe you might have been thinking that it's the same thing turning and landing back, because I'll be landing without the landing gear. It's the same thing, I'll go there.
And that's why
maybe that F-port is more suited to even handle this than where I'm coming from.
And that's why I said from his experience,
yes.
I'm not a pilot.
Yes.
I never piloted an aircraft before. I'm just an aviation safety expert. So I'm talking from my own perspective. That if I were, perhaps, and I now said, maybe due to his own experience and training, he had seen that, okay, flying this thing to Abuja will be one, more safe than turning back. But then, thank God, he has he alerted the rescue operation to be at alert, which is the most important. The rescue operation to be at alert before landing.
We also, let's take a quick look at the Vanguard headline. Top left, the Vanguard speaks on Ekweremadu, which was also a very significant thing that happened just before the weekend began. Gregory Varsity proprietor seeks King Charles intervention. That's what the headline says. And for those that are probably not as aware, there was a sentencing that happened I believe it was on Friday. And a lot of videos.
You see, much as I empathize with Ekweremadu, because in my area, they will say Oro Molushi. That is, it was because of his daughter that is now going through these travails. Okay? But my question is, do we know how many people that the actions and inactions of Ekweremadu, while being the Deputy Senate, had sent to early grave to? Because as the Senate Vice President, there are lots you could do to ensure that our health sector is improved. And peradventure, he wouldn't have traveled to UK to go and do that kind of surgery. Imagine if our health sector had been fortified through his efforts and others, and he decided to do that in Nigeria. Do you think anybody will have raised eyebrow? Even if eyebrows are being raised, do you think we will have been jailed?
The system is different when it comes to donations and all of that, and donor list. Because I know that these things have donor lists, and people will tell you that, look, okay, so it differs in different places. He probably could have gotten a donor here easier than getting.
I even had an allegation against him that when some amount of money was to be spent in developing a particular teaching hospital, there are some mago he did along the line. I mean, it's an allegation. So what I'm saying is, as much as a human being, I want to empathize with him. But then we shouldn't be subjective in this issue. Let's look at it point blank, so as to serve as a deterrent. Look, even the other service chief, the other military officer that was killed by all these miscreants along the Kaduna Abuja road the other time. Had it been that these guys had improved on our security, will that have happened to him? These are issues that we need to consider.
We need to focus
and to be a very good lesson to those coming behind them.
We have to say a big thank you to you, Dr. Dayo, for coming to speak and on a lot of these issues and giving us a different perspective.
Yes, we really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
My pleasure being with you today.
Okay, let's head over to the kitchen, and we hope that there will be no incident or accident while Mary is performing her duties there. Oh, no, Mary, the chef. More important than you, Mary.